Good evening, everyone. Sorry we're running a little late. It's 7:05, so I'd like to call this meeting to order. Just as a note, our live stream is down, so you're just going to hear us audibly. I call this meeting to order, which has been called under the authority of Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, Chapter P13 is amended to provide relief from zoning bylaw 07-67, specifically Section 14 Special Provision -M3-101. The bylaw permits a maximum gross floor area devoted for manufacturing and uses accessory of 2,600 meters squared or 26,896 feet squared, and the requested relief is to permit a maximum gross floor area of 3,205 meters squared or 34,498 feet squared. The purpose of this public meeting of the Town of Erin Committee of Adjustment is to allow the presentation of an application for a minor variance and to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments with regard to this application by emailing clerks@erin.ca to register. Please include your name and phone number. After being called, you will be placed on mute until asked to speak. The committee will exchange views and the decision will come after full consideration of input from the meeting, submissions from neighbors, and any other interested parties, and comments from agencies. If a person or public body does not make an oral submission at a public meeting or make a written submission to the Committee of Adjustment before a decision is made, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the local planning appeal tribunal, unless in the opinion of the tribunal there are reasonable grounds to do so. If any member of the public would like to be notified in writing of the Committee of Adjustment's decision on the application, they are to email clerks@erin.ca or mail this request to 5684 Trafalgar Road, Hillsburg, Ontario, NOB 1ZO. We will start with deferrals, deal with the application, allow any parties interested in the application to speak, allow additional comments from the applicant, and then come to a decision. Julie, will you now explain the appeal process to the applicant?
If anyone wishes to appeal the committee's decision, they must do so within 20 days, which in this case is August 4th, 2020, as per the visions of the Planning Act, by filing with the Secretary of Committee a notice of appeal setting out the objection to the decision and the reasons in support of the objection, accompanied by a payment to the Secretary Treasurer of the fee charged of by the tribunal under the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal Act 2017 as payable on appeal from the Committee of Adjustment to the tribunal. Notice of the appeal will be sent to the applicant and agents and will be posted on the town's website.
I have a motion before the committee to approve the agenda as circulated. Do I have a mover and a seconder for this motion?
I move to accept that.
I will second that.
Carried. We will now get underway. Do any of the members of the committee have any pecuniary interest with regard to the application A0420?
No, I don't.
No.
Carrying on. Does the applicant or agent wish to, for whatever reason, withdraw or defer their application 0420?
No.
Okay. Reminder to any member of the public that you may ask a question or make a comment on this application by emailing clerks@erin.ca with your name and phone number prior to the decision of the committee. Julie, can you confirm how notice was provided?
Notice was given by mail on June 30th, 2020 to every owner of land within 60 meters or 200 feet of the subject property and to agencies requiring notice as prescribed in the Planning Act governing minor variances application. A public notice was issued on the town's website.
And the agency circulated?
The agency circulated were Credit Valley Conservation Authority, the County of Wellington, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, the Ministry of Transportation, the 4 school boards, Union Gas, and relevant town staff.
I will now read the nature of the responses received. From the planning report from the County of Wellington, the purpose of this proposal is to seek relief from the special provision M3-101 to allow an increased gross floor area. The proposed minor variance permits a total of 3,205 meters squared, which recognizes the existing buildings and would allow for a small addition to be constructed. There are no major concerns with this proposal, provided that Grand River Conservation Authority and the Town of Erin Building Department have no concerns. It's our opinion that the variance is minor in nature and it meets the intent of the zoning bylaw and the county official plan. The variance is desirable and appropriate on the subject property. Town of Erin Community Services and Infrastructure Services had no comment. Grand River Conservation Authority, resource issues. Information currently available at the office indicates that the subject property contains portions of the provincially significant Iramasa River Blue Springs Creek wetland complex and the regulated allowance to this feature. A copy of our mapping is included for your reference. Legislative policy requirements and implications. Due to the presence of the above noted feature, the entire property is regulated by the GRCA under the development, interference with wetlands and alterations to shorelines and water course regulations, Ontario Regulation 150-06. Based on our review of the drawings submitted with this application, the proposed expansion will require a permit from the GRCA. Please note that any future development or site alteration on the property will require a permit from the GRCA. Additional information suggestions provided in an advisory capacity. A minor site plan application review fee is required for our review of this application. With a copy of this letter, the applicant will be invoiced the fee in the amount of $420. That's it for the comments. So I will now provide the opportunity for comments and questions from committee members, and then we'll go to the applicant and members of the public. So Bill and Brad.
Yes, it's Brad Bruce. I was just looking at your building envelope. It looks like everything would obviously be tucked away inside. Wouldn't be visible from Highway 25, obviously, and it looks like it's kind of tucked in there. And perhaps, I'm not sure of the height of the structure, but you have a leg in there already. It would be lower than the leg that's in there?
Yeah, it's lower than the elevator that's there, but it's enclosing the bin that goes up through the roof. So the overall height of the structure is going to be about 60 feet. The existing elevator is about 85 feet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no more questions from the committee. Is there any other comments from the applicant?
Only if there's any other questions. I think that you've probably got a grasp of what's going on here. Would you like me to more explain what we're doing? Is that what you'd like?
Sure, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, as I was saying to Brad, we have a concrete manufacturing facility, and so the storage bins for the aggregate stick above the building about 50 feet. It's an uninsulated bin, and in the wintertime we use this throughout the winter. And in the wintertime we have to climb up a ladder on the outside of the elevator and scrape off the chute every single day, which is not a very nice job and a little bit hazardous, although there's all safety precautions taken. So the purpose of this is to enclose this bin so that we can just go up a set of stairs on the inside, and it would all be protected from the weather, and it would also be insulated, so it would make things a little easier for the way that we do things. The actual extension, square footage wise, is to enclose an area in which we load our materials. So the actual size of the expansion is only 83 square meters. The rest of it is over top of the existing building.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Can I have a motion from the committee?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minor variance application to increase the floor space, just generally because of the nature of the location. Surrounded, it's well hidden, and generally they have a great, clean, tidy operation.
I second the motion to approve the minor variance.
Be it resolved that the Town of Huron Committee of Adjustment hereby approves the minor variance application A0420 because the application meets the following criteria. The general intent and purpose of the official plan is maintained. The general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw is maintained. The variance is considered desirable for the appropriate development of land. And in the opinion of the committee, the variance is minor and the motion is carried. I also have a motion before the committee to approve the minutes as circulated. Do I have a mover and a seconder for the motion?
I will move that motion.
I'll second that.
That motion is carried. Be it resolved that the Town of Huron Committee of Adjustment hereby closes the public meeting held pursuant to Section 45 of the Planning Act at 7:16 p.m. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that?
I'll move we accept that, Jim.
I will second that motion.
Carried.